So I guess your thoughts as you begin your first term here on City Council?
Really excited. Yeah, it's good that it's finally here. Now it's real, and so it's just more or less just excitement at this point. And that was a short first meeting, so
Yeah,
really can't ask for better.
yeah. Is there anything in particular you're looking forward to for this first year, or any particular initiatives or projects that you really are looking forward to kind of provide a voice on?
Yeah, in terms of the first year, I'm going to approach this like I have every position I've walked into in my professional career. My intent is to onboard, to train, to study as much as possible. My goal is to be as effective as possible. And that first year really is going to be just a big steep learning curve and trying to just get all that in and again be effective.
Kind of on the campaign trailer with your campaign, some of the things that you kind of really focused on were workforce development, retention, economic development. Can you talk about maybe your thoughts on those regards as you come into this first year, your first term?
Yeah, well, in the workforce development, I mean, the unemployment rate really hasn't changed any in terms of it's low, and I think as we've discussed in the past, that's great from one perspective, but if you're an employer who's looking to hire, that's bad from that perspective. That continues to be a problem. We need to attract both people from outside our community, but we also need to focus on growing people in order to feed into these positions from within. So that will continue to be a focus and of a primary concern for me as these 4 years progress.
Okay. So I know that there's kind of somewhat of a learning curve, coming into this position, but I don't know, any particular initiatives, priorities that maybe you really hope to kind of, I don't know, make sure, I guess, is kept at the forefront of, council's priority list or agenda?
At this point, it's kind of a,
Yeah.
There's a lot there. There's a lot, especially as I've gone through the multiple various 32 kind of orientation meetings, have learned a lot of the challenges that the departments face. It's been an eye-opener in terms of the challenges that we're looking at. So at this point, I don't want to say that there is this, these
Right.
3 initiatives or these 2. It's really going to be trying to get the full picture. The benefit, obviously, of finally getting into the seat and having done those meetings is really, again, that it's kind of opening my eyes to everything that's in front of us and the challenges we face.
And then lastly, I guess, any thoughts about, being sworn in and kind of going right into the budget process? We've got the public hearings coming up here next month.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough. So as you mentioned, the budgeting will begin in February. So part of the orientation, the goal was that we get those meetings in, ideally in advance of those departments presenting on their budgetary needs. What I had done was taken 4 vacation days in December and actually scheduled 5 full days of meetings in order to get that in. That's been very helpful, in terms of again, just understanding what's there for each of these teams. But yeah, to your question, it is going to be tough. It's still very little time between when this begins and when that starts here at more or less the start of February. So